Have you ever felt like the world was against you? Like you've lost everything and you're all alone? Today, we are going to talk about a story that redefines what it means to be patient in the face of unimaginable hardship. This is the story of Prophet Ayyub, known in other traditions as Job, a man whose faith was tested like no other. Ayyub was a man blessed beyond measure. He was a descendant of Prophet Ibrahim, and Allah had bestowed upon him immense wealth, vast lands, countless livestock, and a large, loving family. He was righteous, generous, and constantly in a state of gratitude, always remembering and thanking Allah for his blessings. His life was, by all accounts, perfect. He was a respected leader, a devoted husband, and a loving father. He used his wealth to help the poor, the orphans, and the widows. He was a beacon of light in his community, a living example of how to live a life of thankfulness. But his unwavering faith and piety did not go unnoticed. Iblis, or Satan, grew jealous of Ayyub's devotion. He argued that Ayyub was only grateful because of the bounties he enjoyed. He claimed that if all these blessings were taken away, Ayyub's faith would crumble. And so, with Allah's permission, a series of profound tests began for Prophet Ayyub. The purpose wasn't to punish him, but to elevate his status and make him an example for all of humanity for all time. First, his wealth was stripped away. His vast herds of livestock perished, his fertile lands turned barren, and his businesses collapsed. One day he was the richest man in his land, and the next he had nothing. Yet, through it all, Ayyub remained steadfast. He prostrated to Allah and said, "To Allah we belong and to Him we will return. He is the one who gives, and He is the one who takes." His heart remained full of gratitude, and his tongue remained moist with the praise of his Lord. But the test was not over. The next trial struck even closer to home, at the very core of his heart. His beloved children, his pride and joy, were taken from him in a tragic accident. Imagine the pain of a father losing all his children in one single, devastating blow. The grief was immense, a crushing weight that would break most people. Yet, Ayyub's reaction was one of incredible patience and submission. He didn't question Allah's wisdom or cry out in despair. Instead, he sought refuge in prayer, his faith unshaken. Seeing Ayyub's unwavering resolve, Iblis became even more frustrated. He was granted permission to afflict Ayyub's body. A severe illness ravaged him, covering his body in painful sores from head to toe. He grew weak and frail, unable to move without excruciating pain. The man who was once strong, respected, and surrounded by people was now an outcast. His friends and community, fearing his disease, abandoned him one by one. They whispered that he must have committed some terrible sin to deserve such a punishment. Only one person remained by his side, his loyal and compassionate wife, Rama. She stood by him through everything, tending to his needs, washing his wounds, and offering him comfort. She sold her belongings, even her own hair, just to provide food for him. She was his rock, his only connection to the world that had turned its back on him. For years, they endured this hardship together, isolated and impoverished. Even in this state of extreme suffering, Ayyub never once complained to Allah. He never asked, "Why me?" His prayers were not of complaint, but of remembrance and praise. Years passed. One day, his wife, exhausted and heartbroken, said to him, "Ayyub, how long will you endure this? Why don't you ask Allah to relieve you of this suffering?" This was a turning point. Ayyub, who had been patient for so long, was saddened not by his own pain, but by his wife's despair. He gently reminded her of the many years of health and prosperity they had enjoyed. He said, "I am ashamed to ask Allah to remove this hardship when the time of my affliction has not yet reached the time of my ease." He was content with the decree of Allah, accepting both the good and the bad as a test from his Creator. However, the pain eventually became so intense that it started to interfere with his ability to worship, to remember Allah. His tongue and his heart were the only parts of his body unaffected by the disease. It was only when his suffering began to hinder his connection with his Lord that he finally turned to Allah with a humble supplication. He didn't demand a cure. He didn't complain. His prayer was a masterpiece of humility and faith. He simply said, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." He didn't even say, "Heal me." He just stated his condition and affirmed Allah's attribute of mercy, leaving the rest to him. It was a recognition of his own weakness and a profound declaration of trust in Allah's infinite compassion. And the response came immediately. Allah commanded him, "Strike the ground with your foot. This is a spring for a cool bath and a drink." Ayyub did as he was told, and a spring of pure, cool water gushed forth from the barren earth. He drank from it, and his internal sickness was cured. He bathed in it, and his external sores vanished, his skin becoming more beautiful than it had ever been. His health, his strength, and his vitality were fully restored. When his wife Rama returned, she didn't recognize the handsome, healthy man standing before her. She asked, "Have you seen the afflicted man who was here?" He smiled and replied, "I am he." Her joy knew no bounds. But Allah's blessings didn't stop there. He didn't just restore what Ayyub had lost, he multiplied it. His wealth was returned to him twofold. And most miraculously, Allah blessed him with a new family, giving him the same number of children he had lost, and they lived long, prosperous lives. Prophet Ayyub lived for many more years, continuing his life of gratitude and worship, his story forever etched in history as the ultimate symbol of patience, or sabr. So what can we take away from this incredible story? The life of Prophet Ayyub teaches us that tests and trials are a part of life. They are not punishments, but opportunities to grow closer to God and strengthen our faith. It teaches us that true gratitude is not just for the good times, but for all times. It shows us the power of patience, the beauty of submission, and unwavering mercy of Allah. When we feel overwhelmed, we should remember Ayyub's prayer, a simple acknowledgement of our state and a deep trust in God's mercy. His story is a powerful reminder that after every hardship, there is ease. No matter how dark the night seems, the dawn will eventually break. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Let us know in the comments what lesson from Prophet Ayyub's life resonated with you the most. Until next time, stay patient and stay grateful.